Have you ever reached the end of a long day, feeling drained, yet somehow empty inside, wondering what you actually accomplished? You replied to messages, completed tasks, helped others, scrolled through updates, and stayed busy from morning to night. But beneath all that activity, something felt off, like your focus was pulled in 100 different directions at once. This is exactly the challenge that the philosophy of essentialism addresses. In the world we live in today, we are surrounded by infinite choices, infinite information, infinite possibilities, and infinite interruptions. Everyone is competing for our time and our attention. But the real question is not, how can I squeeze in more? The real question is, what actually deserves a place in my life? Essentialism teaches us that true success is not born from doing everything. It is born from identifying the few things that genuinely matter and pouring your best energy into those things alone. Through this idea, you will discover how to identify what is truly important, let go of what is simply filling space, make smarter decisions about where your time goes, build real clarity in both your personal and professional life, and decline requests with confidence and without carrying guilt. Because if you never take ownership of your priorities, the world around you will assign them for you. So let us explore how doing less, but doing it better, can lead to a life of greater focus, deeper peace, and real purpose. There was a man named Samuel who worked as an executive at a technology firm. For years, he had been known as a reliable and driven professional. Then, his company was acquired by a much larger organization, and everything shifted. New expectations, new structures, new pressures arrived all at once. Samuel wanted to prove he belonged in this new environment. He wanted to demonstrate that he could handle more responsibility, support his new colleagues, and be valuable to everyone around him. So every time someone invited him to join a project, attend a meeting, prepare a report, or assist with a task, he said yes without hesitation. In the beginning, this felt like the right approach. But the true cost revealed itself slowly. He was trying to be everything to too many people simultaneously. His calendar was packed, his mind was overwhelmed, and his energy was spread so thin it barely touched anything deeply. He was constantly busy, yet the quality of his output quietly declined. His performance dropped, and frustration set in. His manager was dissatisfied. His peers grew frustrated as well. Samuel was working harder than he ever had before, yet he was delivering less value than ever. Eventually, the organization offered him an early retirement package. He was only around 50, with no intention of stepping away so soon. He considered launching a consulting practice. He even thought about offering his services back to the same company independently, but he felt lost, uncertain about which direction to move. He turned to his mentor for perspective. His mentor offered him one deceptively simple piece of advice. Stay in your role, but approach it as though you were already a consultant. That reframing shifted everything. A consultant does not say yes to every request. A consultant focuses on where they can generate the greatest possible value. So Samuel began filtering his choices more carefully. He started declining requests that did not truly align with meaningful outcomes. At first, he used a simple internal question as his filter. He asked himself, "Do I have the time and capacity to do this properly?" If the answer was no, he declined respectfully. Some people were disappointed, but most respected his honesty. Then Samuel raised his standard even further. He began asking, "Is this the most valuable use of my time right now?" If he could not answer with a clear and confident yes, he said no. Soon this thinking shaped everything he did. Where he once attended every meeting, joined every call, and inserted himself into every project regardless of his contribution, he now gave his time and attention only to work that genuinely mattered. Rather than spreading himself thinly across many projects, he went deep into fewer ones where his impact could truly be felt. The shift was remarkable. His output improved, his focus sharpened. He regained the ability to plan intentionally, and he gave his full attention to what was actually essential. By choosing carefully and removing what was unnecessary, he restored the standard of excellence that had once defined him. But the transformation extended far beyond work. Samuel reclaimed his personal life. He came home earlier in the evenings, He shared meals with his family. He found time to move his body, rest properly, and simply breathe. He was no longer enslaved to his phone, no longer pulled by every notification, every request, every manufactured urgency. And yet his career did not suffer. His manager became more satisfied with his performance. His colleagues respected him more deeply because his results were stronger. Samuel felt a genuine sense of satisfaction he had not known in years. In fact, he received his highest performance rating and the largest bonus of his career. Now let us bring this back to your life. How many times have you agreed to something without pausing to reflect? How many times have you committed to a project, an event, or a request, and later quietly asked yourself why you ever said yes? How often do you agree simply to avoid tension or to escape the discomfort that comes with saying no? For many of us, yes has become the automatic response. We commit first and question it later, and gradually, our time disappears into other people's agendas. If you often feel occupied but not truly productive, if you feel like you are always doing something yet rarely achieving something meaningful, then learning to live like an essentialist can genuinely change your life. Essentialism is not about doing more things. It is about doing the right things. It is about directing your limited time, energy, and attention toward the few things that truly matter, so you can bring your very best to what actually counts. Picture your energy being pulled toward 10 different targets at once. In every direction, you move only slightly. But when you commit your full force to one meaningful direction, your momentum becomes something powerful. That is what it means to live like an essentialist. You stop drifting through life on autopilot and begin moving through it with intention. You choose what matters, release what does not, and take genuine ownership of where your time and energy flow. Because your life is shaped not only by what you choose to do, but equally by what you choose not to do. One evening, the author of Essentialism sat alone in the lobby of a tall office building. Most people had already gone home for the night. Before him sat a single sheet of paper, and on that paper rested one of the most important questions of his life. For nearly 20 minutes, he sat quietly, thinking deeply about what he truly wanted. He reviewed the notes and reflections he had written down. Then something unexpected stopped him. Law school was not on the list. This was striking, because at that very moment, he was enrolled in his first year of law school in England. He had chosen law because people told him it would keep his options open. With a legal degree, he could practice, teach, consult, or write about the law. On the surface, it looked like a wise and practical choice. But internally, he recognized something uncomfortable. He was not choosing between his options. He was trying to occupy all of them simultaneously. During the day, he studied law. In the evenings, he read about business. In his spare time, he wrote. Without fully realizing it, he had made doing everything his entire strategy. But rather than freeing him, all those open doors were making him more uncertain. Around that time, a friend from the United States invited him to a wedding there and arranged for his travel. He accepted and made the trip. During his visit, he met educators, writers, and people connected to learning. In one conversation, an executive from a nonprofit education organization said to him, "If you ever decide to stay here in the US, you could join us as a consultant." That sentence settled somewhere deep inside him. The executive had not pressured him. He had simply illuminated a possibility. If you decide. Those two words reminded him of something he had forgotten. He had a choice. So he took a sheet of paper, sat in that lobby, and wrote a question to himself. If I could only commit to one thing with my life right now, what would it be? When he looked at his answer, law school was absent from it. In that moment, he understood the deeper problem. He had surrendered his power to choose. He had not gone to law school out of a burning desire to become a lawyer. He had gone because it appeared to be the expected path, the sensible option, the thing others assumed he would do. He understood then that when we abandon our ability to choose, we hand that power to someone else. A few weeks later, he left law school, moved to the United States, and began pursuing what he genuinely wanted, to teach and to write. That single choice eventually led to the ideas we are exploring right now. Many people believe that choice is something they possess, like an object they carry. But choice is not merely something we have. Choice is something we do. Options may appear before us, but choosing is an active decision. We cannot always control what life presents to us, but we can always control how we respond. Have you ever felt trapped because you believed you had no alternative? Have you ever let your job, your relationships, your past decisions, or other people's expectations steer the direction of your life? If so, you are not alone. Nearly everyone has experienced this at some point. There is a well-documented pattern called learned helplessness, first observed through research by 2 psychologists studying behavior under difficult conditions. In one famous study, subjects were placed in situations where some learned that their actions could influence their environment, while others learned that nothing they did made any difference. Later, when escape became genuinely possible, the first group acted quickly. The second group did not even try, because they had already internalized the belief that effort was useless. Human beings fall into this same pattern. When people believe their effort cannot change their outcomes, they stop trying. When workers feel their contributions go unnoticed, they stop giving their best. Even in everyday life, we quietly surrender our choices. We buy things we do not need because they are presented attractively. We agree to requests from people around us because refusal feels uncomfortable. Gradually, we begin acting as though we have no real control. But to live like an essentialist, you must hold on to this truth. You always have the power to choose. You may not control every situation, every request, or every opportunity, but you can always choose your response. You can choose where your time flows. You can choose what earns your energy. You can choose what to welcome and what to release. Never become passive before other people's choices or even your own history. Your past may explain how you arrived where you are, but it does not have to determine where you go from here. Starting from this moment, you can make better decisions. You can stop living by default and begin choosing with purpose. To discern means to distinguish between what truly matters and what merely feels urgent. And this is one of the most essential skills you can develop. Because in life, not every task, opportunity, message, meeting, or request deserves the same quality of attention. In a well-known novel, there is a powerful and loyal horse who works with complete dedication. Whenever something goes wrong, his answer is always the same: I will work harder. At first, this appears admirable. But over time, he pushes himself further and further until he is completely broken. In the end, he is sent away and never returns. His spirit was good, but his thinking kept him blind. He believed that more effort was always the right answer. Many of us live in exactly this way. When life becomes difficult, we assume the solution is to work longer hours, try harder, sleep less, and push ourselves further. From early in life, we are taught that hard work leads to success. And yes, effort matters deeply. But effort alone is not the complete answer. There comes a point where adding more activity does not create better results. Sometimes the wiser path is not to work harder, but to choose better. This lesson appeared early in the life of the man who developed these ideas. As a 12-year-old boy in England, he worked as a newspaper delivery boy. Every morning before school, he carried a heavy bag and placed newspapers carefully through the small mail slots of each home. For all of that effort, he earned only £1 per hour. The job taught him the value of money. Whenever he wanted something, he calculated how many hours of delivery it would cost him. Then he began asking a different question entirely. How can I earn more for the same investment of time? He discovered another option. Rather than delivering newspapers, he could wash his neighbors' cars each Saturday. He charged £3 per car and could complete 3 cars in a single hour. Suddenly, he was earning 9 times as much. He had not grown 9 times stronger. He had not added more hours to his day. He had simply found a more valuable use of his time. The lesson is clear. Some efforts produce far greater results than others. This idea also appears in a well-known principle that observes how a small portion of our efforts often generates the largest share of our results. In many areas of life, roughly 20% of our actions can drive 80% of our outcomes. A quality expert expanded on this with a related idea he called the law of the vital few. His insight was that identifying and addressing the few most critical problems can dramatically improve the performance of an entire system. This thinking helped reshape an entire national manufacturing culture. A country once known for inexpensive and unreliable products transformed itself by focusing intensely on the problems that mattered most, improving quality while keeping costs manageable. Over time, this approach helped that nation become a formidable force in the global economy. The same principle extends far beyond manufacturing. In business, creative work, investing, relationships, and personal development, the vital few consistently matter far more than the trivial many. One of the most celebrated investors in history did not build his wealth by chasing every opportunity. He focused on a small number of businesses he understood deeply and believed in completely, then held those positions patiently over time. His success came not from doing more, but from choosing with extraordinary care. In the world of technology, the same pattern consistently appears. A senior technology leader once observed that the most gifted developers were not simply somewhat more productive than their peers. In certain cases, their impact was orders of magnitude greater. This reveals an important truth. Effort is not created equal. Some effort produces modest results. Other effort produces transformational ones. The reality is that in our daily lives, most things are not truly important. That may be uncomfortable to accept, but consider your own experience. Every day brings a flood of information, requests for your attention, tasks that feel urgent, and opportunities that appear attractive. But how many of them genuinely move your life forward? How many truly deserve your best energy? Someone who has not yet adopted essentialist thinking treats nearly everything as important, so they attempt to do everything, please everyone, and pursue every possibility. But an essentialist understands that most of what competes for their attention is simply noise. Only a handful of things are genuinely worth pursuing. So the question worth sitting with is this: are you spending your one life on the vital few, or are you losing yourself in the trivial many? Picture yourself as an investor making decisions in the early 1970s. You place a small amount of money into every major company available to you. 3 decades later, you review your portfolio. Which company delivered the greatest return? You might guess a technology giant, a manufacturing leader, or an energy company. The answer surprises most people. It was an airline. This is especially unexpected because airlines are widely considered one of the most difficult industries to succeed in. High costs, thin margins, and intense competition define the space. Yet this particular airline performed strongly year after year, and a central reason for that performance was the essentialist thinking of its leader. He understood something with great clarity. A company cannot be everything to everyone. To become exceptional at one thing, it must willingly give up many other things. This is the concept of a trade-off. A trade-off means committing to one priority and accepting that you cannot pursue every alternative at the same time. That airline made deliberate and disciplined trade-offs. Rather than flying to every possible destination, it concentrated on direct, simple routes. Rather than serving meals during flights, it eliminated them to keep ticket prices accessible. Rather than assigning seats in advance, it allowed passengers to choose after boarding. It removed premium service entirely and committed fully to a straightforward travel experience. Every one of these choices served a single purpose: to make travel practical, uncomplicated, and affordable. The airline became known as the option for people who wanted to fly without spending more than necessary. Its leader understood that some customers would not be satisfied with this. Some wanted luxury, more destinations, and a refined experience. But he was clear about whom the airline was genuinely meant to serve. It was not trying to please everyone. It was trying to serve people who valued simplicity and value over prestige. At first, many observers dismissed this approach as too limited to succeed. Who would choose an airline without meals, without premium cabins, and with fewer destinations? But the airline proved its critics wrong. It grew steadily, generated strong and consistent profits, and earned a reputation that far larger competitors envied. Competitors then attempted to replicate its model, but most of them failed. A business school professor identified the reason and gave it a name. He called it a straddled strategy. It describes the mistake of trying to hold your original approach, while simultaneously copying your competitor's approach. In simple terms, it is trying to stand in two boats at the same time. One major airline made exactly this error when it created a low-cost service within its existing full-service operation. It offered simplified routes and removed meals and premium seating. But it never fully committed to the trade-off. It kept trying to maintain both models at once. The result was confusion. The low-cost service could not function efficiently, and the quality of the overall operation began to deteriorate. Flights were delayed or canceled regularly. Customer complaints multiplied. The company lost hundreds of millions of dollars, and its chief executive eventually lost his position. The lesson endures. You cannot pursue everything at once. When you say yes to one path, you are implicitly saying no to another. Whether or not you acknowledge this, trade-offs are always present. If you refuse to make them consciously, your performance will pay the price. This is true not only for organizations, but for each of us individually. Consider someone who constantly tries to fit one more thing into an already full schedule. They have 5 minutes before a meeting located 5 minutes away, and yet they sit down to send a few more emails. Or they agree to attend a family event on a Friday evening, even though they already have tickets to something else at the same time. These people believe they can somehow manage everything, but in reality, they arrive late, disappoint those they care about, and miss the very things they committed to. They have forgotten a fundamental truth. We cannot be in two places at the same moment. Someone who has not adopted essentialist thinking asks, "How can I do both?" But an essentialist asks a harder and more honest question. Which problem do I want? Because every choice carries a problem with it. If you choose one direction, you release another. If you choose low cost, you may give up luxury. If you choose deep concentration, you may miss certain opportunities. If you choose time with your family, you may have to decline extra work. The goal is not to eliminate all problems. The goal is to choose the problem that belongs to the life you actually want. So ask yourself honestly, what outcome matters most to me right now? Which option moves me closer to what I genuinely value? What am I prepared to release in order to protect what is essential? When you understand trade-offs and stay anchored to what truly matters, you stop being scattered in every direction. You become more focused, more decisive, and more effective. Just as that airline succeeded, not by offering everything, but by choosing one thing and committing to it completely, you too can build something meaningful by choosing well and letting go of the rest. Clarity of purpose is the foundation of an essentialist life. Without it, even the most hardworking and talented people can exhaust themselves moving in the wrong direction. But when a person, a team, or an organization knows exactly what it is trying to accomplish, decisions become cleaner, collaboration becomes more natural, and energy flows with far less resistance. When clarity is missing, two predictable problems emerge. The first is that people begin playing internal games of competition. Without a clear shared goal, individuals start competing for visibility, approval, and influence. Rather than asking how to advance the mission, they begin asking how to appear valuable. The second problem is that without a shared direction, people drift apart. Each person pursues what they personally believe is worthwhile, but because there is no common destination, the group makes little real progress. It is like a team of runners, each sprinting toward a different finish line. The solution to this is what we might call one decision that makes 1,000 decisions easier. It is a clear, meaningful, and measurable purpose. One that is specific enough to guide real action and inspiring enough to generate genuine commitment. Many organizations write statements of purpose that sound impressive on paper, but offer almost no practical direction. Phrases like "we aim to transform the world" or "we believe in innovation and excellence" may sound aspirational, but they are too vague to help anyone decide what to do next. On the other extreme, purely numerical goals, such as increase profit by 5% this year, can be measurable without being inspiring, and they rarely generate the kind of deep motivation needed to sustain a team through difficulty. A truly essential purpose sits between these two extremes. It is specific enough to guide decisions, meaningful enough to stir something real in people, and clear enough that progress can be measured. It functions as a filter, making future decisions far simpler. For example, if someone commits fully to becoming a physician, that single decision can orient their entire path for the next decade or more. It tells them what to study, which opportunities to pursue, what sacrifices to make, and which distractions to walk away from. A compelling real-world example comes from a woman appointed as a nation's first digital champion. Since no one had held this role before, she could have crafted a vague and sweeping mandate. Instead, she and her team arrived at a single, clear purpose: to bring every citizen in the country online by the end of a specific year. That statement worked because it was impossible to misinterpret. Everyone on the team understood what success would look like. They knew where to focus and, equally important, what not to pursue. Because the purpose was so specific and compelling, it also attracted partners who wanted to contribute to something real. We need this same kind of clarity in our own lives. But building it requires a different approach than most of us use. First, resist the temptation to make your purpose sound elegant or sophisticated. Impressive language often conceals unclear thinking. Second, make sure your purpose includes a concrete outcome and a meaningful time frame. Inspiration is valuable, but it should arise from the depth of the purpose itself, not from decorative words wrapped around a hollow idea. This insight emerged from a business school class in which students were asked to evaluate the mission statements of a large number of nonprofit organizations, identifying which ones were simple, concrete, genuinely inspiring, and measurable. After reviewing nearly 100 examples, the students discovered something surprising. Many of the most beautiful-sounding statements were the least useful. One small organization with only 5 members had declared its mission was to end world hunger. The intention was deeply noble, but the goal was so expansive that it could not guide any specific action. One organization stood out clearly from the rest. It was a nonprofit created to rebuild homes for families in a city devastated by a major storm. Rather than using grand or abstract language, its purpose was precise: to construct 150 affordable, environmentally sound, storm-resistant homes for families in a specific neighborhood that had suffered the most. That goal was measurable. It was specific. It was meaningful. And crucially, it felt genuinely achievable. Everyone connected to it could picture what success would look like. That is the power of clarity. When your purpose is vague, every decision demands effort. But when your essential intent is clear, many smaller choices seem to make themselves. You know what to embrace, what to decline, and where to direct your finest energy. Clarity does not merely inspire action. It shields you from distraction and allows you to move forward with quiet confidence. On a day that would become part of history, a woman named Rosa had the courage to say no. She was seated on a public bus when the driver instructed her to give up her seat and move to the section designated for Black passengers. But she had reached the point where she would not comply. She was exhausted by discrimination, humiliation, and the daily experience of being treated as lesser, so she refused. That refusal was not careless or impulsive. It came from the deepest conviction. She had chosen what was essential to her: her dignity, her sense of justice, her belief in equality. She accepted the consequences, and her act became one of the catalysts that helped ignite a movement for civil rights. Most of us will never face a moment as historically significant as that one, but we encounter smaller versions of this challenge every single day. Have you ever said yes to avoid an argument? Have you ever felt caught between what you believed was right and what someone around you was pressuring you to do? Have you ever been afraid to decline a request from a manager, a colleague, a friend, or a family member because you could not bear the thought of disappointing them? If so, you are not alone. Saying no requires genuine courage, and it also requires care. We fear saying no because we do not want to close a door, hurt someone's feelings, or create friction. But saying no does not make you unkind or selfish. It simply means you are protecting what genuinely matters. A woman once shared a memory that stayed with her for decades. When she was 12 years old, she and her father had planned a special evening together in a beautiful city. They had been looking forward to it for months. The plan was thoughtful and full of small joys. She would meet him after his final commitment for the day, and then the two of them would explore the city together, share a meal, do a little shopping, watch a film, and finish the evening with ice cream and a late television program. Everything was unfolding exactly as imagined. But after his final meeting, an old friend appeared. They had known each other since university and had built a business together. They had not seen one another in a long time. The friend warmly invited them both to dinner at a fine restaurant. Her father smiled and acknowledged how good it was to see him. Then he continued, "But not tonight. My daughter and I have something special planned, don't we?" He took her hand, and they left together. That evening became one of the most treasured memories of her life. Her father was a celebrated author and thinker whose most famous work centered on prioritizing what matters most. He did not simply teach that principle to others. He lived it. For him, the planned evening with his daughter outweighed even an unexpected reunion with a beloved friend. He knew what mattered, and he knew how to protect it with grace. So how can we do the same? How can we decline without sounding dismissive? How can we protect what is important without damaging the relationships we value? The first step is to separate the decision from the relationship itself. Saying no to someone's request is not the same as saying no to the person. You can hold someone in deep respect and still decline what they are asking of you. Once this distinction is clear, saying no becomes significantly less frightening. The second step is to remember that no can be expressed in many ways that are both honest and kind. You might say, "I'm genuinely honored that you thought of me, but I've already committed to something important." Or, "I would truly like to help, but I need to stay focused on this particular work right now." These responses are honest without being harsh. Third, consider the real cost of saying yes. Every time you agree to something, ask yourself honestly what you are giving up. Are you trading away time with people you love, the chance to do deep and meaningful work, the rest your body needs, or progress toward a goal that genuinely matters to you? When you see clearly what your yes will cost you, it becomes easier to protect what is truly essential. Finally, make peace with the possibility that some people may be disappointed. That is a natural part of life. But over time, the people around you will come to trust you more deeply. They will know that when you say yes, you mean it completely. They will understand that you are not someone who agrees to everything and then delivers poorly. You are someone who chooses with care and follows through with integrity. A graceful no is not a rejection of the person in front of you. It is a declaration of what you value most. And sometimes, the courage to say no is precisely what gives you the freedom to say yes to what your life is actually meant for. The philosophy of essentialism is ultimately about understanding what truly matters to you. It is about directing your time, your energy, and your full attention toward the few things that are genuinely important and releasing everything that only adds noise, pressure, and distraction. The first idea is choice. If you do not decide what deserves your energy, something or someone else will decide for you. Your work demands, social obligations, the expectations of others, the pull of screens and notifications, all of these will quietly fill every available space. So remember that choice is not a passive possession. Choice is an active practice. Every day, you have the ability to decide where your energy flows. The second idea is discernment. This means developing the ability to distinguish what is genuinely important from what merely feels pressing. Not every task produces the same value. Not every opportunity deserves equal attention. Some efforts create minimal returns, while a small number of efforts can create extraordinary results. An essentialist does not treat all demands as equivalent. An essentialist looks carefully, identifies the vital few, and gives their full effort there. The third idea is trade-off. You cannot do everything. Every yes carries a cost. When you commit to one thing, you are simultaneously releasing something else. So rather than asking how you can manage it all, ask the wiser question. Which problem do I actually want? Choose the problem that moves you closer to what you genuinely value, and consciously release the rest. The fourth idea is clarity. When your purpose is unclear, every decision requires effort. But when you know your essential intent, life becomes considerably simpler. An essential intent is a clear, simple, meaningful, and measurable purpose. It is one significant decision that makes countless smaller decisions easier. It tells you what to accept, what to ignore, and where to invest your best energy. The fifth idea is courage. Specifically, the courage to say no with grace and honesty. Saying no does not make you cold or inconsiderate. It means you are honoring what matters most. When you commit only to what you can genuinely deliver, the people around you begin to trust you more completely. Your yes becomes more powerful because it is always sincere. As you begin practicing essentialism, something gradual and profound will shift. You will feel more genuinely in control of your own life. You will no longer be pulled in every direction by every request, message, obligation, or passing opportunity. You will become more deliberate with your time. You will become more protective of your energy. You will begin to feel liberated from the many unnecessary burdens that once made your life feel heavy and exhausting. And perhaps most importantly, you will become more present. Rather than constantly scanning ahead to what must be done later today, tonight, or next week, you will learn to pause and ask a single clarifying question. What is the most important thing I can do right now? That one question has the power to return you to clarity. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by too many demands and too many obligations, stop for just a moment. Breathe. Do not rush. Do not panic. Do not attempt to tackle everything at once. Simply ask yourself what matters most in this particular moment, and then give your complete and undivided attention to that one essential thing. Because a meaningful life is not assembled by doing more and more. It is built by choosing more wisely. It is built by releasing what is unnecessary, protecting what is important, and moving through life with genuine intention. When life becomes simpler, the mind becomes quieter. And when the mind becomes quieter, you are finally free to fully experience what has always mattered most: your work, your health, the people you love, your sense of peace, and your deepest purpose. A wise teacher once said that if your life is simple, contentment will find you naturally. Simplicity is one of the truest foundations of a happy life. So choose less, but choose better. Focus on what is essential, and gently, without guilt, let everything else go.